Just me and my guitar.
Hey, what's going on guys? It's Mark back in the workshop on Mark's Aquatics. I've upped my sound game, look. I got all this fancy gear, and a couple of you I know were just saying about the pond was being a little bit loud in the background, so this should filter out all that noise and we should be a lot clearer and hopefully a lot better quality sound. I've got two new fish. I've got two new marble hatchet fish that I've put into the bench tank here, which I picked up today, and I've also got another fish which we're going to put into Vlad's tank when we go in there, and he's going to polish up the rocks and keep things nice and clean in there as well, because there's a lot of particular food that I feed him, because he strains the food out with his big mitts, and a lot of it gets what the endlers don't get. They're going to pick it up, or he'll pick it up, he or she will pick it up and clean the place up nicely. And yes guys, I've got to wear glasses now. Unreal. Had my eyes tested a while back, and I need them for driving, but since I've had these on, it's absolutely amazing the clarity that I've got back. It really is. I mean, you think I'm 47 years old now and I've had perfect 20/20 vision all my life, and still feel strange. They really don't feel right with them on at all still, and still a bit funny behind the camera as well with them on. You feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm being judged all the time, even when I go out, because you're not used to having these things on. So there you go. But what I was going to say is, a lot of someone asked before, they said, you know, Mark, you know, you're not in front of the camera a lot, and one of the reasons for that is because I suffered from alopecia totalis, and as you can see, I got the old cue ball going on there, and I've got no eyebrows, eyelashes. I've got a little bit coming back here, the old grey. It's growing back very slightly but patchy, and it always put me off going in front of the camera and being, yeah, and just opening up and just being there. It didn't feel right. And when you're used to looking a certain way, as if any of you have got alopecia out there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like if you just shaved all your eyebrows off, you know, your eyelashes, everything, your hair off, but you're literally a blank canvas. So and it's all your looks and features that you had before are gone. So that's the reason why I haven't spent a lot of time in front of the camera, was because I was just too scared to be honest. And that's why it's always my hands going in, me making stuff and me chopsing in the background. But that's why I haven't done it. But it's like the wife said, you got to do it. You know, people like to see, you know, you as well as that, and it'll do you good, you know, and it has, you know. I've slowly built up to it. I've done a couple of bits where I'm on the camera first, but I've never felt really comfortable in front of the camera. Always feel better hiding on the sides and showing you guys what I get up to. But yeah, I'll get over it, I suppose. It's one of them things. It's that you get used to. You automatically think you're going to be judged when you've got alopecia, and if you've got it, or you've had hair loss, you'll know what what I'm talking about. I was lucky and fortunate enough to get it when I was 30 years old, so I've had it for like, I don't know, 17 years, and yeah, one of them things, I'm afraid. But you do get used to these things. You get used to it, like I've got to get used to these poxy glasses now. And but it's just another thing in life. But as long as I'm building and I'm helping you guys out, and everyone's healthy around me, and I got my health, you got your health, that's the main thing in the world. That's all that matters. A bit of hair, can always stick my hat on. Yeah, like I was saying, it's one of those things that I've got off my chest. I've just got to, you know, I had to get it off my chest, and I've done it. And so hopefully now you'll see me a bit more in front of the camera. Not that you might want to. It's one of them things. You might be happy I was doing it before with just the hands and stuff. But yeah, drop me a message in the comments if you've got alopecia, and if you want to chat about anything, because it's something that a lot of people suffer from, and it's a very hard thing to cope with, when especially when you're younger. Like I said, I was luckier because I had it when I was older, so you know, I could put up with it a little bit more. I've had a lot of hairstyles in my youth, in my mad punk years, and Mohicans and spiky hair and all that sort of stuff, and you know, and I enjoyed that. So I've got that to be thankful for. But some of these younger kids, they get it, you know, when they're in the, 10 or 11 years old and through their teenage years, which is even harder for them, because that is when kids can be really cruel and be nasty to to one another and bully each other through it, and that's not a very nice thing to have to go through. So never put up with it. Like you say, if you're getting bullied at school, if you're a young viewer and you're watching this and you've got it, always make sure you go and tell someone. Don't put up with it. It's not worth it. It'll stress you out even more, and that's one of the causes of having alopecia. Apparently, it's stress. They don't know exactly the cause, but it's just one of those things that stress could cause it. So when you get it, obviously you get even more stress, which then has that effect as well. So try and keep calm about it, and hopefully, if it's not totalis and it's universal or whatever it's called, you're going to get your hair back if it's just a little bit of stress related alopecia, or something along those lines. Anyway guys, enough chat about that. I've got that out my system now, and I'm a lot happier for it. Like I say, hopefully you'll see a little bit more of me in front of the camera instead of hiding behind it in the future. But we'll have a look at these hatchet fish now, and we'll carry on from there. All right. Sorry if I was rambling on a bit. I know you guys want to see aquatic stuff, but it was just something that I just felt I had to get off my chest, that's all. Right, let's carry on with this show. Hey guys, there you go. There's one of the new little marble hatchet fish up there amongst the silvers, and his little mate is down the other end here. As you can see, whoops, some of my background's peeled off there. I'm going to have to stick that back on with a bit of squirty water. But they're beautiful fish. One of the only true flying fish. As you can see, them big pectoral fins there sticking out the sides, and they'll get a good 8 feet in length once they jump out and they put those little pectoral fins out. Not little, and they don't flap them as such, but they hold them out and they glide along really well. So you've got to have a tight fitting lid on your tank if you're going to get some of these guys. But these guys will breed readily in your aquarium if the conditions are right for them. And I find them fascinating little fish, I really do. Hatchet fish, as you can tell by the shape of the body, looks like a little hatchet or a chopper. Absolutely beautiful, really do like those. Right, I think what we should do is go downstairs here and we can have a look. I can't believe how much this moss has grown in amongst this and all this. There's some of the Java from where I trimmed it last time. As you can see, it's growing like wildfire down here, and the big chunk there, well, that is doubled in size since we put it in there. So that's doing really well, and it's absolutely full of little shrimplets at the moment. Little yellow sakuras. We've got a few crystal reds babies kicking around. I know one of the last videos that I put up, not been the last one, it was the paludarium one, but one when I was doing some filming in this tank, I know you saw the endlers. A couple of you guys saw the endlers having a go. There's a shell down there. Look, that little Missouri down there. He's picking away at the at that shed. I leave the sheds in because sometimes they will consume them. There's a little bit of calcium going back into their bodies. But yeah, one of you saw the endlers actually picking on one of the shrimps that actually died, and I hadn't noticed. And they were throwing it around a bit and looked like they were attacking it, but it had already passed on. Sadly, they do that. Things do die, and it is a shame when you lose them. But the majority of these, there's a baby crystal red down there, so look at that. That one's taken his place in the system. There's another one at the back, right through there, if you can see him, and amongst that dwarf hairgrass. And loads of the female sakuras have now got berries as well, which is fantastic. So we're going to have lots more shortly. Yes, the grass is growing lovely in there now. Oh, look at that. My little algae scraper missed that piece there. Shame on you, Mark. You can see the yellow sakuras, they're doing really, really well. We've got one in the back. There she is there. She's got like a greenish tinge with the gold stripe down the back. I've left her in there. She was a little bit different. She can mix in with them again, but she's full of berries. All the grasses are looking lovely, as is the baby tears as well. Beautiful green with that CO2 going in there. Everything's looking nice and healthy in there at the moment. a few of the, there's another baby under there. We've got quite a lot of young crystal reds coming out now. Another little baby one there. But yeah, you can see how well this is all growing. And we haven't had this system up and running long. Remember last time we only planted all these at the back. This dwarf sage at the back, and it's crept all its way around here. It's jumped across there now, look, and it's going across there, going through there, and that's in a matter of a couple of weeks it's done that. So we're going to have to get back in there at some point, get my scissors out and give this lot of trim back before it takes over. The moss is growing like wildfire. It's taking over everything else. You can see down in the bottom there's absolutely heaps of it growing, so that's going to have to be trimmed down, or I'll lift some of it out with the tongs and clear some of that away. Right, let's go and see Vlad's tank and put the new fish in. Right, that's better. We've had an absolute explosion of baby endlers in this tank at the moment, and here is my new little fish. I've just taken him out of the bag there because I need both hands, and I've just put him in the net. And here we have a lovely little false zebra pleco. Absolutely beautiful. Look at those silly endlers. Look, they're going into the net. Come out of there, you. Look, they think I'm feeding them. See, they normally feed from my hands, but I haven't done it today, so they assume that they're going to get fed. Now, Vlad is in his cave somewhere over there. It's a bit of a glare, sorry. But let's see if this little guy's going to come out. Come on in. Hey, there he goes. Straight into Vlad's cave. You might have a shot going in there, son. You might have a shot going in there, unless he's not in. He may be somewhere else. No, he's in. I can see his claws there, right in the corner. Yep, he's gone and he's hidden in there. I can't blame him. He's new to the tank. If you look around the tank, you can see masses of baby endlers there all over the place. We've had a massive hatch of those. They're all over the place. Sorry about a bit of glare. But the old river scape's looking quite nice. I took the other piece of wood out and I put it in that paludarium because it would look nice in there. And it opened it up a little bit for Vlad because he's not really, he likes to just clamber around on those little pebbles, get himself set up. I've got the pump just in here covered up with stones, so with a fine mesh over it, so those little fish don't get sucked in and thrown out the other end and hurt. But he loves to stand up. Normally he used to go in this corner here and just sit there and fan away, ready to catch these little hands out like that, ready to, looks like he's ready to catch his baseball. The one that you just saw going in there, I think that they call them chocolate plex as well. They're like the nearest you're going to get to the L46, the zebra plecos. These are L270s, and I just find them great. Now, if you're going to try and breed these guys, they're very expensive fish. The L46s are. I would try and breed these guys first and get used to breeding them because they breed easier, and it's a lot less cheaper when you're starting to, well, you know, this little guy that you've seen today only cost me £15, and I hope to get another one and try and breed them in here because there's plenty of places over there. We've got the shrimp hide at the back there which they'll fit into. We'll go around the back and deposit their eggs in amongst that lot there and have lots of little baby plex. Hopefully that'll be nice to see, because I tend to get, I'm going to try and get some L46, some zebra plex at some point this year hopefully, and build a lovely little tank for them and try and get breeding some of those, because they take a lot of them from the wild, and it's not great taking them from the wild now. I always try and get them captive bred if you can get them. That's the way I see things. Yeah, so if you're going to get some of these plex, start off with these first before you get the L46s, unless you're, or you know, if you know what you're doing, that's fair enough. But if you haven't bred plex before, I suggest trying to breed them bristlenose, something like that first. They're a little bit easier, and you're not going to be losing masses of money if they go belly up on you if your conditions aren't spot on, because they've got to be spot on for these zebra plex. They really have to get them to get going. Well, there's lots and lots of food. Hello, what are you up to, boy? You come to say hello, have you? Hello. I'm talking to myself again. He says he's mad. He's talking to himself. Look. But yes, lots and lots and lots of babies in there. I can't believe how many there is. I don't think Vlad's going to make an appearance. He normally comes out around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the evening, and regular as clockwork. Every night he comes out for his feed, and I tend to feed him then. So there's lots of little build up on the back there for the plec to have a go on. There's lots of very, very small, fine algae growing. The endlers keep it down because it's a particular food. It doesn't get. I turn the pump off as well normally when I feed this. I haven't today, but it doesn't make any difference because I didn't put much in, and they'll soon clean it all up. But if you can look closely on the rocks there's little bits of algae growing, and that pleco will soon strip all them off, and he'll polish all these rocks up lovely. So 1 or 2 in there is going to be spot on, and you got quite a bit on the back as well. Some of that Java moss is still clung to the back there and growing well. Has some subwassatang as well, still hanging on the back. That's still going to keep growing nicely. That's starting to plate out, as you can see. That's doing really well, as all the other ones are. The Anubis is putting out some new leaves at the back there, and it's all looking nice. Hello, Lemon. Some of you guys wanted to see Lemon. Look at the size of this boy now. Where are you off to now? He's going outside now on a regular basis. There he goes, off down there. Here's George, the old boy. Hello, Sunshine. How are you doing? Lemon gives him right hell, he does, because he hasn't been neutered yet, so he's a little bit of a monkey. He's out there now playing about, terrorising my bird feeders and all the little birds. Georgie, you silly chap. He's about 8 or 9 years old now, George is. You don't see him often on here, but he's a good lad. He's the quietest cat I've ever known. Look at Monkey there. Look on the top of my koi, on the outside on the koi table there. In the koi pond, chasing leaves. Look, oh you silly idiot, you'll be under them in a minute. So luckily that sheeting I've got over the koi pond is very strong, so he's not going to go through there, which is good. Go on, George, go and tell your mate please to be careful. Good lad. Right, let's go upstairs. I thought I'd just nip upstairs. I put the paludarium up in my bedroom, so I thought I've fitted the light as well, so I thought we'd have a look at that and show you what it looks like with the different colour lights on. Now we can't go past Frank without saying hello. Watcher Moody, how you doing? How you doing? You want a scrap? Not today, eh? And there's old Winter there, look in the back. Hello Mushy, how you doing? How are you doing? Little antenna going there. Has he got any food? Has he got any food? I'm still looking for new additions for this one, some young babies. So one of you guys said about birches. I'm going to get a couple of albino birches in there, some of them, because they're quite slow growing. And I think we'll put 2 in there, 2 little albinos for our little albino tank for later on when we get the monster tank on the go. Aha, well there you go, there we are, the old paludarium there. Fitted the light on the top, looking good. Got a little remote control, it's a little Biorb one. They're about £50 I think to buy these lights, but I've been after one because I've got to get another one for the jellyfish tank for a build later on. But it's really nice. You can just click it and you get all the different colours. Go to blue, you got green, you got red, and all these little colours in between, which you can create your own little colour light show. Or you can have it on wave where it just pulsates between all the different colours, and looks really nice, I think. Well, we'll keep that on white, sort of a mid-range there, and it's doing really nicely. It's cleared up lovely in the base as well. That little filter's working magic in there. It's going to need a couple of more water changes, but it's starting to look good before we can put any shrimp in there. Right, I think what we should do now, we'll shoot off back into the workshop and I'll show you what I've been up to in there, okay? Ah, there we go, we're back in the shed. The old koi have just noticed me come in, heard my footsteps, and they've all come out from under the sheeting. All that where Lemon was just leaping around on the top of the them sheets probably scared the life out of them, to be honest, as well. So you can see them all hiding under there. let me get my little temperature probe a minute. What are we? 9.1, 9 degrees. So we're slowly coming up. When it gets over 10 degrees for a couple of weeks straight, and I know that water temperature is definitely going to stay above there, we'll start chucking in a bit of wheat germ and feeding them up. All the other little tanks are doing well. All these little shrimp that we got down here, these little hybrids, whizzing around cleaning up everything. Bit of a tiger stripe pattern to them, some more so than others, but they're breeding well in there. There's quite a few babies in there now. And here's the acrylic shrimp tank that we've built. That's cleaned up beautifully. Most of the shrimp are hiding in amongst the back. We've got one crystal black on the front here, another one down there. The grass is starting to move slowly, but everything's greened up nice with that little bit of fertiliser going in, and that Ferropol 24 which I put in every single day. That's doing nice. And now we're back in here. Now if you look here, I've been making stuff. Now a couple of you guys on there saying, oh, make some key rings and fridge magnets. So I've done it. I've had a go, and they're all carved out with the laser. I've hand painted them all as well, so they're all different. Okay, some with your, you know, as you are, your all stars. So I put a few stars on there as well, and I've done some bigger fridge magnets as well, which have got magnets on the back, and they will stick to your fridge like that. I should make one and put it there, really. It looked quite funky on there, but there you go. Made a few of those up. Little blue, the old panda there, and I know they're not colour range perfect, but they were good fun to make, and I'm going to chuck them on eBay in case any of you guys fancy any of that stuff. I'll put it on there, because any money that I get from this goes back into the hobby, so you can see me making more stuff as well. So there you go. I'll put the link in the description on this one here, the link to the eBay. I've now got an eBay icon on my home page, which has got the Google one next to it as well, and for the Facebook page as well. So all you got to do there is, when I've stuck them on, just keep going back and looking, and it'll link you straight to that eBay where the shrimp trap's still running, and you can have a fancy, if you fancy a little gamble on one of those. They're only going to be a few of these. I'm only going to make a few of them because I'll only use what I've got left. Like I say, some of these are in white. This is a thin one. This is a clear one, but it's in a lot thicker, and I've brush finished it and hand painted them all up. So if you fancy one of those, go and have a bid. Anyway, these little guys look all happy up here. These little mates still over there. Go and join your friends. They're over here, look. I think I'll leave it at that for today. It was just a quick little Wednesday, quick little run through, show you that paludarium and the lights, and a little run through of what's been going on. So I think now I'm going to sign off. As always, you're all stars. I love you all. Stay tuned. We're going to start something new on Sunday. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for up and coming videos, and you ain't going to miss anything in the future. Alright guys, anyway, you're all stars, love you loads, take care, be safe, and I'll see you on the next edition of Marks Aquatics. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.